What's going on, guys? Support for today's program is brought to you by Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package, and they really nailed it this time. So I was using a different trimmer a little while ago, and there was always one area I'd get caught up on and pulling on the hair and bleeding and everything, and it was driving me crazy. I could always have to like baby my way around it. But a couple months ago, I started using the Lawnmower 4.0. I've had no issues. I breeze right through that area. And there's no more cuts, no more nicks, no more bruises. So everything's going really good. Guys, as bodybuilders, we're hairy as hell, and we always got to keep everything in check. And the least you can do is keep your junk in check for the misses. So listen, go to manscaped.com and use code RBP, or go to manscaped.com/RBP and get the 20% off plus free shipping. Guys, the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped has taken off across the globe. Not only in the US, also in Canada, the UK, Australia, and many other countries. Inside the package, you'll get the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer. You guys know you got to keep your ears and nose clean. You'll also get the Crop Preserver ball deodorant and the Crop Reviver toner, Manscaped boxer briefs, and a travel bag, which I love. I think it's leather. It feels actually really good. And it's pretty big, so you can fit all your stuff in there. So listen, guys, go to manscaped.com, use code RBP, get 20% off plus free shipping, or go to manscaped.com/RBP and get the 20% off plus free shipping. Enjoy it. I know it's going to help you guys out. It helps me. Thanks for watching, guys. What's up, man?
What's up?
Well, you shit talking me this morning. What's wrong with you?
I wasn't. I didn't start it.
You totally started it.
Oh, someone else said something about your hamburger titties. I just joined in on the
Nobody else said anything about my cheeseburger tits, which are disappearing. Look, you see this right here? Look.
What?
See this right here?
What is that? Sweat?
Yeah.
Why are you sweating?
Because I'm shedding my cheeseburgers as we speak.
What do you fucking take a bunch of Clen and then do a podcast?
Yeah, that's how I burn fat. I just fucking took a bunch of Cleanse, just sit around.
Sit at your desk, yeah. Cool. I mean,
no, asshole. I started prepping. It's weird. You know what's funny? Even if there's no show, just losing fat is called prep now for the rest of my life.
I know. It can't not be. It's just it's so good. I mean, shit, you might as well do Toronto Pro. It's in December. Get at it, you know?
I was thinking about it. No, I don't think I have the muscle anymore to do it. But no, I started a prep. I'm going to call it a prep. I just started shedding weight last Monday. I got on a proper schedule. So I did some cardio. I've been sweating like crazy. I'm eating like.
What was your starting weight at?
It wasn't that much higher. I haven't lost that much weight, actually. I was like fluctuating between 74 and 78. Then I'm down to 70 this morning.
Oh,
so yeah, down a few pounds. But Brett, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's
up, Ian?
What's up, dude?
That's on your thumb, man. You looked awesome. That was an awesome weekend for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going on about myself, man. Fucking second place at the Arnolds.
Fuck.
I was enjoying talking about your sweaty cheeseburger tits. So.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And completely shredded, and there's no cheeseburger anymore. You guys got nothing to say anymore.
If you got strided pecs just like crazy, hey man, I'll sit there and I'll post pictures of your cheeseburger tits on my fucking Instagram all day.
One thing I won't do, no matter how shredded I get, is post naked photos. I won't do that. That's for sure.
I absolutely will.
Dude, I said to Ben, we were making fun of you on the live feed. We were talking about your fucking glute shots. And I said,
well, it's become like a fucking gag now. You know?
I know it is. I said to Ben, I fucking think I've seen more of Ian's ass than my own fucking wife in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I could like draw it. Like, I know where the fuck everything, like, just stop. Yeah. Like,
it's funny. I counted the striations the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I you do it once or twice to like be serious with like trunks on, and then it becomes like a gag, and then it just like it keeps rolling, you know.
I noticed on stage you're constantly fucking with your glutes.
Oh I was hiking the trunks right up and just fucking
Is that a thing for you? Like, you consciously, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna show them my glutes.
Yeah, why not? I mean, especially at the Arnold, because you could see yourself on the screen.
Oh, that's right.
When you go to the back shots, you could see yourself, so it was like a mirror.
Yeah.
So I could see my butt and it looked really good in the screen. So I was like, fuck, yeah, so pull those babies up, you know?
You know, that's funny. I had a lot of questions during the live feed. I find the mental part of the being on stage interesting, and everybody thinks of things differently. So remember in prejudging, was it? No, sorry. I think it was fine. It was finals. They had Nick in the middle, you on the right, and Steve on the left.
Yep.
And they did that round, and then they shuffled. They put you in the middle, and then they shuffled again and put Steve in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we were talking about in the live feed was, because every guy is different. Some people notice it, and I'm pretty sure you do, and some people don't. Or some people just get caught up in the moment. So during that, are you thinking to yourself, they just want to get a look at everybody? Or are you thinking to yourself,
my God, no, like
or are you thinking to yourself, I'm in the fucking middle. I'm in the middle. Fuck you.
I mean, you watch my YouTube video and everything. I knew, like, and hats off to Nick. After prejudging, I knew Nick fucking obliterated that show. Like, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind. Like, Nick, in my mind, was the clear-cut winner, not even close. I thought it was a landslide victory. I'll give him that. When they called us back at the top three at night and did the moment, you know, like they swapped me in the middle, I kind of just like had a chuckle, and I was like, well, we're all getting in the middle at this point, because you know, I knew they were doing like what they did in Texas, where they were going to give us all the time in the center and make it fun for the crowd. Like, I knew this wasn't saying that I was, you know, I just had like, I literally laughed and looked at Nick. I'm like, here we go, you know? Like, I knew exactly what it was. Like, I didn't have any delusions of grandeur that I was jumping from third to first or something, you know?
Well,
like,
I
in this case, maybe they were moving me over to compare me with Steve. You know, that's maybe where my head went. But at that point, I just knew they were doing it for fun. I was just like laughing at the moment. I'm like, this is fun, you know?
Okay, that's interesting to me, because that's what we were talking about in the live feed. We're like, I was like, I wonder what their mental state is. I'm like, do they think they're being positioned for first, or do they think they're being shuffled for the crowd, or do they think they just want to see Steve next to Iain?
I can only speak for myself. I knew that they were just doing it for the crowd.
Yeah.
I knew that I wasn't being put into the first position or being compared for first place. You know, I absolutely knew that. I mean, there's no way they're not giving me a call out with the top two and then jumping me all the way to first, because I looked that much better. And I knew I was better, and I knew I was, and I even said it in my video that I believed I was good enough to beat Steve, even at prejudging. I felt that was realistic, and I was hopeful that I could come back a little bit better at night and close that little bit of a gap that there was. But I knew that Nick was in a league of his own in this show, and I didn't think that I was beating Nick by being put in the center by any stretch. No.
So I kind of figured that stuff, because I know you're pretty smart about the sport. I know, you know, in fighting they call it ring IQ, and I guess you have the same thing when it comes to bodybuilding. So I kind of figured you knew, but watching from home, you know, we were all talking about it. Me, Ben, and I think it was me, Ben, and Paul, and Roman. Yeah.
Well, no, the second they put me in the center, and I said to Nick too, I was like, I hope you're ready for three, because like they're gonna put Steve in the middle too. Like all three of us are gonna do this. This is how it's gonna go, you know?
So interestingly, you said something that I didn't realize that you knew that day. Was Nick in person? Like, okay, so when Nick came out, we were all like, fuck, Nick's got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
In person, you didn't feel like you could challenge at all? Like, you felt like he's got it, like hands down?
No, like, this is how I saw it. So after prejudge, okay, I'll give you exactly where my mind was in the show. And I'm sorry if I offend any of the other competitors, or this is just speaking to what my mind state was as it was happening, as it was going. So we were the second group of six, okay? So the first group of six that came up had Kuklo in it, it had Akeem in it, and had Sergio in it. Me and Nick were standing side stage, and they had a screen there side stage so I could see the guys on the stage. When they came up, I could see that Sergio and Akeem were not at their best. I could see that Steve was good, but not a version that I felt that I could not beat, and that I felt looking like where I knew I was, that I thought I was better at that time. So when they went up, I looked at Nick and I said, I think it's going to be you, me, and Steve. You know, like, I think this is what it's going to be. I think it's going to end up being me and you. Like, I'm like, this is.
Where did you say this to him? Did you say this to him in the lineup?
Side stage, staying at the thing. I'm like,
side stage. Okay, yeah.
This is you and me, buddy. Like, when I saw the other ones, I was like, you know, this is our time. Like, let's fucking make this happen. You know, because I could see that Akeem wasn't sharp enough from the back to make it happen. I could see that Sergio wasn't quite there. Steve was good, but I didn't think that he was good enough to challenge Nick or myself. So when I was watching that, and then me and Nick came up, and then you can see yourselves on the screen when you're posing, and I could see that me and Nick looked really fucking good, you know? I mean, I could only see the back shots, and I was pretty good in the back shots of this show. So, you know, I could see that that we were there. And then when they called the top 4 group, they swapped me and Nick right away, put me to the outside. So I was like, okay, I'm either being compared with Nick for second, or I'm in third or fourth. Then when they did the top 2 call out, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm a very secure third. I didn't think I was losing to Justin, but you never know, right? But yeah, I mean, and then when I was standing side stage watching the screen and looking at them live, in my opinion, there was absolutely no comparison between Steve and Nick. I thought it was a very, very clear cut. I would have given, out of 7 shots, maybe front lat, maybe 1 to 2 shots to Steve at most. I said front lat and rear lat. And actually, not even rear lat, only because Nick was having trouble opening his back. He was having trouble opening up, but his detail and his skin texture, which you can't quite see in person, in the live streaming and stuff, versus what you could see in person. That Nick was very grainy and very dry and very hard.
The only 2 shots. The only 2 shots were front lat spread and side tricep. Those were the only ones. Front lat, I'll absolutely agree. And I said this to Nick when he came off stage. He was like, he was all, you know, excited and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, and I literally looked at him. I'm like, congratulations, you just won the Arnold. And I said it to him the second he stepped off stage after the top 2. I was like, you just won the Arnold. He's like, you think so? I'm like, honestly, man, I'm like, you lost front lat spread, maybe, and that's it, in my opinion. I'm like, you know, 2 shots at absolute most, 1 shot probably. But I'm like, front double, you kill everybody. Side shots, you're fucking insane. Back shots, you're in a whole different level. I was like, there's absolutely no chance in my mind that you did not just win the Arnold. So that's where my mind was. And then if you watch my YouTube video, when I got off stage and I talked to the camera, I said, I think I'm in a very secure third. But, you know, I'm going to manifest destiny here. I think that I am very close with Steve. Despite that they gave them their own call out, I didn't let that get to my head, because I know that these things are for the crowd. You know, I know that a top 2 call out's very exciting. I know it gets things stirring and people excited. I know Steve's got a big fan base. Nick's got a big fan base. It's like the new guard, old guard gets things excited. I just want to interject for a minute before you go on to the night show. So Guy, did you watch the Arnolds? Sorry. Hi, Guy. How are you?
Hi. Hi. And did you,
before you just don't, I'm going somewhere with this. I just want to ask.
I just want to, hold on. But before you ask me anything, you owe me something. Before I say fucking one word.
I said I would publicly apologize. I'm going to publicly apologize.
I brought your guys, Brett.
So we were supposed to get on last night at 8:00, and I had a really rough day the day before, and I was tired. So I messaged Ian and Guy, and I said, "Do you guys mind if we move it to tomorrow?" And Guy had changed his whole schedule for me, so I apologize publicly for making Guy change his schedule again.
Because I would have been on time yesterday.
Even though I should be apologizing to Ian. The guy's getting ready for the Olympia next week. What'd you say, Ian? Go ahead.
It said he's only 10 minutes late here too, and he moved his schedule. That's pretty good.
I know. So anyway, okay.
Wait, and then Ian, did you always have tattoos on your fingers?
No, those are new.
When did you get those?
See, the 2 things I wanted, I already got. Good.
When did you get the tattoos on your fingers?
We'll get to that later. Finish. Okay, go.
Okay, fine. Okay, Guy, did you watch the Arnolds or no? Did you watch it live or just the pictures?
But I watched like live. I didn't I was getting up and like doing things. I was paying attention.
Brett, did you get a chance to watch it lived all the way through the prejudge?
Yeah, I was watching all the way through. I was tuned in.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you, Ian. So after prejudge, and I don't know, Guy and Brett, you can fill me in what you think, but I had Steve solid second. I thought he looked better than Texas. I thought he was harder and he looked a little fuller.
I agree.
But before you go on, Ian, Brett, did you see the same thing, or did you think it was closer between Ian and Steve?
I thought it was close. I was actually kind of surprised they did the 2-person call out. Like, that's what I was like. Okay, well, he's second, exactly, because I thought it was really close between him and Ian, even in prejudging.
Yeah.
And like you said, Ian, it was really cool because I did watch your YouTube last night, and you manifested it. It was awesome. You know, in between, you're like, I gotta, fight for this second. I feel like I can get it, and then that's what happened. You spoke it into existence, but. You showed up better. That's everyone I talked to that was there said that, and it was, blatantly obvious. And you took advantage and you fucking moved up and you did that shit. It was awesome, man.
Guy, did you see them closer, or did you have Steve in a solid second?
No, and I think me and you talked about this. I said, and this is literally what I said to Fouad. I go, I feel like I can't see the separation in Iain and Steve's quads as good as I normally do. And you said, but Iain's really peeled. I go, he is, because his skin looks really thin. But I go, from what I'm looking at, because I'm not there, so I know it's distorted by view. Yeah. But it looked like the leg separation for Steve and Iain in the front, that's what I didn't see. Yeah. And then from the back, I thought, I mean, Iain always says his hamstring. So I thought Steve had Iain on the back with the hamstrings, but I thought Steve's back was either flat or soft, because from the back double, I had Iain all day against Steve. So I could have, for me, it's kind of like apples and oranges.
So you had him close. So you had him closer. You didn't.
I had him close, but it wasn't like no. It depends on if you like a structure and shape or you like mass. Like obviously, I was like rooting for fucking Iain because he's my boy. Yeah. So, but those were Iain, am I wrong? It looked like just a leg depth, unless that was before video.
I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Steve. I was having trouble staying on my quads, especially.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to ask you, because there's one thing I noticed, and I don't know if it's lighting, because the lighting in Texas was really, really good. I felt like you were drier at the Arnold, but I felt like you were better in Texas. Like I felt you were like 2% more full, and the muscle had like, I don't know if it was more of a pop, but like there was more leg separation.
My evening look at the Arnold was my best of all of them. Yeah. But I think you're averaging between pre-judge and finals at both shows, I'd put myself maybe 2 to 5% better at Texas.
I really like the way you look in Texas. I felt like it was the best combination of.
Yeah, I mean, Texas is hard because the lighting was so awesome. The Arnold lighting was very shadowy. Yeah. And especially in shadowy lighting, what it does, especially in your lower half, it casts shadows downwards. Yeah. So I know looking at hotel photos and how I looked like, in some of the good stage shots and stuff, I think I was better, especially definitely better at finals of the Arnold than I was at Texas as an overall. But they were very close looks. I mean, I think the thing that was definitely a little better in Texas was, like Guy pointed out, my quad separation. I was having an easier time staying on my quads and keeping the separation in. But like if you go to my Instagram, there's one shot where I posted a front double where you can see I'm on my quads.
They're wild.
And they look crazy, Yeah. So when I was getting them and I could get the, my hips back and get the separation in, they looked really, really good.
But I kept thinking too, I was like, the only person's leg separation I could fully see was Nick's, because even like on the stage, when I saw Justin, I was like, man, I'm like not impressed with him. And then like I saw a picture of him like backstage without the stage lighting, and he looked peeled. Go down, and I was like, I can't understand this.
No, go down. I'll show you the front double. See there, front double?
Yeah.
See, and my quad separation is in like crazy there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like this was a finals look, and I think this was my best look to date for sure.
If you would have been like that during pre-judging, they would have done a call out with probably you and Nick.
I like this look better, and I think it might be the lighting, but I just feel like
the lighting.
And this is like I'm being extremely nitpicky. Right? Like people who are watching are like, oh, he likes this, that. Listen, I'm talking about.
Look at that most muscular there, and you can see like the light is a little brighter. Yeah. And it's a little more highlighted than go up all the way to go to.
I know. I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm talking about like 1%. It just looks like. No.
And then see versus that go to the other most muscular.
This one?
Left side there. Yeah. See, like you can see here, yes, like the dryness and the hardness and the fullness.
I think really I would, good. You know what? I think I would agree with you. Nighttime at the Arnold's is like a really good look. Yeah.
Yeah. It and Texas are both very, very good. They're very close.
Yeah. Do you think you were just a little flat, which is why you weren't popping through, or you think you were overly full and you needed to be
pre-judge? I think I was a little bit flat.
Okay. That's what I was getting at.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit flat, and then I think getting a little more food in me, getting that sweat out, like in pre-judging, we worked. I sweat well. Yeah. I got a little more food in me. I didn't rehydrate a ton.
Yep.
And then I took a good nap. And then when I came back at night, like I was like bone dry.
You want to know what happened?
The nap always does it, man. Every time you fucking
when I woke up after that nap, my skin felt like shrink wrap. I was like, this is it. I'm ready.
I think you and Steve were both having the same issue. You figured it out, and Steve did not.
No, this is what happened. So They both went back and they ate. And I think the difference is Steve came back.
Oh, did they? I don't. You talked to Steve?
No. I'm assuming from the way he looked. So they both They both came back more. They both came back more full.
Yes, I think Steve was a little better at night, but I think this is what I think.
I disagree.
Yeah. I think.
Go ahead.
We were about 3% apart in prejudge. He had, and I don't know if you watched the thing. They actually had a 9 judging panel, and 2 highs and 2 lows were removed. Not a single.
Yeah.
So 9 judges and 4 scores were thrown out.
Yep.
So like even if Nick got a perfect score, he didn't actually necessarily get a perfect score. Not all 9 judges gave him more. With me in prejudge, not every judge actually gave Steve second place.
Yeah.
Highs and lows were thrown out. So it's closer than people think in prejudge. So I think we were close. And then at night, I was just like that extra 5% better. Even if he got 2% better, I got 7% better. And I just closed that 2%, 3% gap he had from prejudge.
I think I think for Steve, like, people are like, he faded. I don't think it was a matter of fading. I think people are just using terminology maybe they don't understand. He came back more full, but I don't feel like he had the same.
Full.
I feel like he didn't have the same dryness that he had in the morning.
Well, then that's the thing. I think that was the determining factor, and the same thing it was in Texas was, especially, and this is why some people have the issue with being like, how did Ian beat Steve or blah, blah, blah. I think this thing and the hardness and the dryness and the texture of the skin is something that you can only see in person or in really HD photos and from like 15 feet away.
Yeah. And
when you're talking about, and I had this conversation with Gina yesterday, when you're talking about shots like say side tricep or side chest or back double, if you look at the side of Steve's leg, his glute and his hamstring and quad is all kind of one.
Mixed, yeah.
You're like this.
Like where mine, you can see the glute is separated, the hamstring line, the quad separation. You can
go to the picture of him in Texas, because that's where I was going to tell you to compare.
I know.
Columbus to Texas.
If you want, I'll show you the shot I'm talking about.
No.
It's your side tricep when you're stepping forward.
No, there's a side tricep with all 3, me, him, and Nick all together, and you can see in the side leg and through the midsection where there's just a little bit more crispness and polish to the skin. And I think these things was what the judges can see. And when you're talking about 2 physiques that have a lot of similar positives and negatives, I think this level of hardness was really the determining factor. And me and Steve were very close. I mean, we were very close in Texas, and I only, out of 45 points here, Steve had a 45, I had a 43 at the end of the Arnold. We were very, very close. It's not like it was like,
I think the reason, I just want to say something, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but including you.
But
Ian.
it sure will. But
it probably will. But including Ian, I'm just going to be completely blunt about my opinion, my opinion of it. So when I look at Steve's physique, I think the reason people think there's such a gap is because the physiques look so different. Like, Ian, you're winning on muscularity and conditioning more than shape.
Absolutely.
Steve is doing well because of shape, not as much because of conditioning and dryness. So I think people are looking at the physique and they're not taking into consideration all the other factors of what judging is. And so they're like, well, this is way different than this. How come this isn't winning? Or how can they be so close if they're so different?
Perfect example. Dennis Wolf used to place high. He was like peeled maybe once. He never really had peeled hamstrings, peeled glutes, but he had great shape.
Yeah.
And it carried him.
I mean, and like I said, there's also certain things that you can see, like, when you look at, say, like a shot of a back double where Steve maybe has good detail in terms of like separation in the hamstring, maybe a little better than mine, which you can see in low grade photos. When you look at the higher grade photos, you can see the dryness and the thinness and the texture of the skin better, which are things that aren't necessarily carried over so well. So people initially go and be like, wow, Steve is bigger, he's more detailed, whatever. But it's like, okay, but it's not necessarily that way. My dryness and hardness, I think, was up there with absolutely the best in the entire show.
Yeah, I agree.
So, even though if some shots and I think that using the side chest and side tricep are perfect examples. When you look at the side leg and, the texture of the skin through the glute, the hamstring, the quad, in the midsection, the serratus, the obliques, like how dry and hard and tight everything is. I think these are the things that sitting from 15 feet away are very, very noticeable. Mm-hmm. And even though Steve maybe has Steve probably has one of the prettiest structures up there for sure. He's 6 feet tall. He's 280 pounds. He's broad in the shoulders. He's got a decently small waist. He poses well. Like, there's not really any knocks you can make on him from a structural standpoint. you know, but then from a muscularity standpoint and a dryness and a hardness standpoint, I absolutely do prevail, you know.
Okay, I think so Steve go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, guy.
No, I don't want the fans to fucking say interrupt everybody. I'll let you interrupt this time. And so
who cares? You know what, guy? Can I just say something? Guy, you need to stop reading the comments because you're changing.
No, I think they're funny. I've been sending you screenshots where people are like, Guy's demeanor changed so much. He's such a different person now that he retired. I'm like, who the fuck are these people?
Retired like a day ago.
Like somebody messaged me, hey, you didn't seem like yourself on the podcast. Is everything okay?
Because you're reading the comments.
What do you guys think is wrong with me?
Because you're worried about interrupting. And so you're becoming more quiet. And then people are like, Guy's changing. Just stop worrying about the comments.
I'm going to ransack this whole podcast the entire time. I want to say this.
Yeah.
And I've never been more proud of a friend watching the way you reacted to Nick winning. That was probably the highlight of my entire watching.
I texted Matt after this, and because Matt texted, he's like, man, honestly, that was like one of the best moments watching that. And I even said, I was like, man, it was a very like changing moment for me. It was the first time in my life I've been beaten in a show and was like truly happy for the guy beating me.
It was fucking awesome to watch. I was
because when Nick was, and even when Nick, if you watch the videos, when Nick and Steve were up there, like in the 2-man call out, I wasn't like upset that I was not in the 2-man call out. I was screaming at Nick, being like, hit your fucking abs, get your this quad, stay on your, like, you know, I was like yelling. I'm watching the screen and seeing what the judges could see and yelling as loud as I fucking could. Like,
that's awesome.
That's actually, it's the same point I was going to bring up, Guy. I was just, but I was going to bring it up a little differently because I'm an asshole. So, so Iain, I know you're the most competitive person. You're literally the most competitive person I've ever met. Like literally.
Yeah.
I'll fight him right now.
so how does it, is there any part, I know you guys are friends and I know what it's like when a friend wins, you're happy for them, but is there part of you who's like, fuck, I was supposed to beat him?
Honestly, no. Like it's and that's why it was such a weird moment for me, because I didn't feel any of that for the first time ever. Like, yeah, look, I had some moments where I was like, oh, you know, I feel a little bummed out that I just came second at the Arnold, and it's like very overshadowed by Nick's gargantuan win. But then I was like, I don't even care. Like I accomplished what I set out to accomplish. You know, really, I want to get a top 3 at that show. That's really what my end all be all was. And if I was going to get beat by anyone, I would honestly way rather it be Nick than Steve. And, you know, Nick looked fucking awesome. Like, I can't even hate on it. Like, I looked at Nick and I was like, he's way better than I thought. Like, I knew Nick was good, but I thought it would be a really close show between like me, him, Sergio, Akeem, Steve. And Nick was in a class of his own. I mean, I was at my absolute best. Steve was at his best. A lot of these guys were at their best, and Nick just fucking ran train. And like, I can't even be mad about it, you know? Like, and seeing him up close and like his composure as an athlete, like how he hits his posing, like everything, like he hit that front double and blew out all that air, and he could have stood there for 20 minutes. I swear to God.
You could see it in the live feed, man. The one thing I said to the guys when we were watching, I'm like,
he was like Ramy at the
somebody said, no, he's better. Somebody said,
but that's how, when everybody was talking about how Ramy was at the Olympia with his posings, when Nick was hitting his shots, that's what it reminded me of, because he was so on it.
Somebody said to me, I think they were going, I can't remember who was going around, but they were like, Nick's going to get tired. And I'm like, he's not going to get fucking tired.
Okay. Nick,
I'm like, you could see it.
When Nick got off stage, he was gassed and he was sweating, but like he could have done that all day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that's what it looked like. Yeah.
He had it mentally in there that he was driven enough that he was going to sit there and hit those poses with a perfect smile and perfect composure until he died, you know? And he also, like, the practice was there that he could suffer through it and just keep hitting them perfectly over and over and over, you know?
One of the things I think people don't realize when they're watching is guys usually switch from pose to pose because they're trying to catch their breath. So like sometimes you'll see like, and I'm only going to use Steve because I saw him do it a couple times, but all of us do it. I've done it. So
I did it for sure.
So sometimes they'll call like an ab and thigh, and the guy will hit the ab and thigh, and then they'll do the side ab and thigh, and then like, because they're trying to breathe in between. Nick gets into that fucking that front ab and thigh, and he's just stuck. There's nothing. There's no movement.
He's thinking he practices like underwater breathing, so he doesn't have
he hit that front double and breathe out all the air, and he'll just stand there. And he stood there for 10 minutes. You know?
It's impressive, man. It's impressive.
You know what's crazy is how when you see that, like Branch Warren did that one year, and I fucking hated how it looked. It looked when Branch one year changed his front double to this, and he like crunched his abs down.
No, with Nick. Nick, it's bang on. Yeah.
No, with Nick, but that's what I'm saying. It's so weird how something that little structurally can make a huge difference in a pose.
Guy, don't you remember that was us that helped him change that?
Yeah.
We were on Bro Chat.
Yeah.
We were on Bro Chat. Remember, he used to elongate
we used to talk
his
about
waist.
how long it made his torso.
Yeah, and we were like, hey, man, try crunching that down. Next thing you know,
Nick, so you could send the percent of that check that you just won to P.O. Box.
What'd you say?
Brett, I'm sorry you got interrupted. You were saying something.
No, I was just saying, like, that's the shit that like shines through, the composure like that. Like you said, it was so noticeable. And how much of an effect does that have on the judging? You know,
yeah,
because they see that and they're like, you know, that was with my experience this year at Chicago, I was going to make sure that I was never going to give up a pose. And, that's the stuff that shines through because everybody else was gassed. And it was amazing. Like he was fully focused, just like the Romney thing last year. And it stuck out in my eyes, definitely, for sure.
Well, I don't think people in the audience, I mean, judges are human, right? So an athlete's composure and an athlete's preparation on stage is going to shine through. If a guy looks tired or if a guy looks weak, or if his oil's not perfect, if his tan's not, all these little people that consider little things are not little.
I mean, and Nick's composure in his posing was absolutely superior to both Steve and mine. So, I mean, there's no doubt that, clearly from a physique perspective, he did beat us, but also from a posing perspective, he beat us too. I mean, there was no doubt at all,
Okay.
Yeah,
so go ahead, guy.
No, like going into the Olympia, since you just took second in the biggest fucking show in the world, okay? Yep. And you're going into Olympia and you knocked off again, people you have before, but like kind of etched it in stone.
Well, Akeem I'd never beat. That was the only ones. He was 6th in the Olympia, but yeah.
I just want to know what you're mentally thinking about as far as going into the Olympia, as far as what you're going to do better, different. Do you, and this is not a knock against Nick. Do you think at 100, like if you're like, all right, if I come in my best at prejudging, I could knock off Nick. Because you're second in the world, you got to be licking your chops some way, shape, or form, bro.
Wait, before we get to Olympia, I have one really, really important question that we're glaring over here about the Arnolds.
Right.
You got a check for 75 grand US, which probably converts to like 100 something Canadian.
Well, I got bonuses on top of that too.
So bonuses.
What car are you buying?
What car are you buying? And can I help you shop for it? What do you do with your fucking 100 grand or 150 or whatever the fuck you're at?
Yeah, I got like 110K.
Plus you won fucking.
Save it, bro. Put it in.
Don't save it. Spend it.
In that car.
So you got 2 wins.
Get back to Canada.
You got 2 wins plus bonuses.
Yeah.
And then the Arnold check. So you fucking made
I won like 150K this year.
You should start a podcast called Ian Chat.
Fuck you.
I'm branching off. I'm taking all the boys with me.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I don't know what I haven't even thought about it yet. Like we're still in Columbus and we went and did a little shopping, bought a couple pairs of shoes and spent but I mean I'm after that it's like,
so wait a minute. No, but in all
he goes 2 or 3 grand.
No, but in all seriousness, right? So the first time I was in the money, like first time I got a check, obviously it wasn't 75 grand, but first time I got a check, I was like, I didn't even remember that I was supposed to win money. Like I was like, oh, I get a fucking check. This is sweet.
It feels like a freebie. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, that's what I want to ask you is like, when you're in second, are you thinking about the money till they actually say it? And then you're like, oh fuck, I get a check. Or do you already know like there's a fucking fat check?
Okay, well, after prejudge, and then I knew I was in the top 3. I was curious. I'm like, what's top 3? I texted my mom because I was talking to my mom and I was like, because I know she had looked up the money. I'm like, yo, what's top 3 money? And she's like 50, 75, and 135.
Your mom looked up the money already. That's awesome.
I'm like, we're doing good. Even with 50, we're doing okay here. This exchange rate right now, that 1.3 is holding me together.
You want to know what's crazy? Is that the most money I've ever won in my entire bodybuilding career was when I took 5th place at the Arnold Australia in the Open.
Really?
What was that? Like five
grand. 212 first place to 3 grand.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
I was like, that don't even cover toilet paper for a fucking prep.
Yeah.
When I still got the Olympia.
Huh?
Yeah.
I
took my best place at the Olympia. My best place
in the
was
Olympia.
6th.
You know that.
Okay, so guys' question about the Olympia is I'm sure everybody's thinking it too. So you beat all these guys. You beat Akeem. Who knows if Akeem comes back better?
Did you take a Lulu shirt and just put hostile on it? Because that's what it looks like.
No, what are you talking about? These are the same as all our shirts.
That's a nice shirt.
The levels?
Same as this.
Yeah,
Next
it's the same material. No, it's not next level. No, it's custom. Custom bitches, don't fucking try and out my shit. This is custom fucking shit. You can't fucking match this. Everybody knows the fit and feel. You can't match it. Okay. More important, the Olympia is coming up. You beat a lot of guys. You got Nathan, James. Nathan, I'm not sure is going to be able to make to the US. So let's
Really?
I don't know yet. I gotta have to have a conversation with him, but let's assume he's in. So we got Nathan James, who you haven't competed against yet. Well, you've competed against James, but not the new James.
Yeah.
And then do you think you can get ahead of Nick?
I think when I watched the videos back from finals, I think it could happen. I don't know if in 2 weeks. I know Nick's going to be better. I know Nick is absolutely not going to be worse in 2 weeks. And I think being 100% completely honest, I think that the gap will stay the same. I think I'll be 10% better. I think Nick will be 10% better. You know, obviously the biggest things I can close the gap on, you know, which we just talked about is, you know, trying to work on that posing and fucking nail down my posing like crazy for the next 2 weeks, making sure all my transitions are perfect. You know, making sure that like certain shots, like my most muscular, I changed up a bit. My side tricep, I'm locking out that elbow. I got some feedback on those things. You know, certain shots like that. I think I can stay close to Nick, and I think I can stay within one placing of Nick. Wherever he goes, I think I can stick right with him. I don't know if I can beat Nick, but I think if Nick is third, I can be fourth. If Nick is fourth, I can be fifth. I think I can latch on and be very close to Nick. I think the only two guys I don't think I can absolutely beat no matter what are Ramy and Hottie. And maybe Nick. So I think after that, I think everybody else is, if I'm at 100%, I think is
Bonac too.
Do you think you can pull ahead of Bonac and Curry?
I think I can beat Bonac. Curry, it's hard to say. I don't know.
I know I'm putting you on the spot. I know it's stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't stood next to them with the physique that I have now, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know where I'm at conditioning wise. I know I'm going to be better in 2 weeks. They haven't stepped on stage yet this week. I know Bonac just had a lot of shit with travel and this and that, and that's stressful. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I'll lose to Bonac. I might lose to Brandon. Sure. I mean, that's okay. But I think my absolute goal, and I think is absolutely realistic, is to get in that first call out.
Okay. That's a big
deal.
If
it's a 6-man or a 5-man or whatever it is, I'm going to get in that first call out, and that's my goal, and I will absolutely make that happen.
Okay. Before actually we skipped off the Arnolds before I wanted to. So I don't like getting into negative stuff, but I just think we should cover it and even cover it in a positive way.
Well, the fact that Arnold should have just run the show himself because he talked about himself.
You want to run the podcast? You just go ahead, guy.
I could if you want to.
No, you can't. Okay. So no, I actually want to talk about Amanda Latona and her.
Oh, I didn't think that was going to get brought up.
No, I'm going to bring it up because I'm only bringing it up because I don't think it's a big deal. So this is the thing. So at the end so for those of you who don't know, at the end of the live stream, Ian got called second, and Amanda Latona off screen, kind of like, I don't know if she knew they could hear her, said,
let's be honest.
Whatever. I'm paraphrasing. She said, I don't think that's the way it should be. Like she thought Steve would have been second or first, whatever. She wasn't happy with it. Whatever. So, and so my point is people are freaking out, but I'm like, if the camera was on her and they asked her, what do you think? And she said, well, I think Steve was second. This wouldn't be a big deal.
No.
I think because it was off air and it seemed like it was like, wasn't supposed to be heard, it's been made like this big fucking, big thing.
I think it's a little weird having one of the competitors' wives as a commentator in there. I think that's obviously somewhat of a conflict of interest. And I think it's no shot on Amanda. I think for anyone, when you're talking about your husband being, you know, in the mix for the win, it gets dicey, you know, when you're commentating that and it doesn't necessarily go that way. And it's going to be hard for anyone to maintain composure and not state your opinion and remain unbiased and do your job as a commentator. I 100% admit that, you know, like, look, I know if Melissa was on there, she wouldn't have made any comments. She would have maintained her composure and she would have taken it like a champ on the chin. Like every other time I've lost shows and if we didn't agree with placings, we keep our mouths shut and we move on. We get better and move forward. I know that. You know, it's tough. Like, look, it's unfortunate because I feel like when these situations happen, it feels like it's directed at me. when I'm not the one judging the fucking show. Like, look, I show up at that show at my absolute best and I try and win just the same as Steve, just the same as Nick or Sergio or Akeem or any of these guys. And I'm just trying to do my job making a living of winning bodybuilding shows. You know, if you don't like my physique or you want to knock my physique or you want to do all these things, that's your prerogative. But getting upset at me and directing animosity towards me as if I pick these placings is kind of silly, you know, like, and now it feels like there's almost a rift between Steve and I, which is very unfortunate to me because I did nothing to Steve. I showed up at the show. And the thing is, if I had placed third and Steve had placed second, there would have been 300,000 of my fans on Instagram saying that it's fucking bullshit and that I should have been second. Just like right after prejudging, I had 200, 300, 400 DMs saying that it was fucking bullshit that they had a top 2 call out and that I was better than Steve. You know, it's a subjective sport. When you compete in this, you completely expose yourself to that. And there's always going to be people that prefer different physiques and prefer different characters. And this is the way it is. I can't ever for the life of me understand it being directed at the athletes when the athletes are not the one judging.
Well, it has to be directed somewhere. And I think that's what happens. But I think, and you can't direct it at the judges, because I think when you direct it at the judge, if Amanda directs it at the judges, she knows the backlash what comes from that, right? So she's not going to do that.
The only thing here that you do is you take it on the chin, you go back to the judges after the show and you say, hey, we really didn't agree with this placing. You know, we thought that Steve had second on lock or even maybe first. Can you give us some clarity as to why we placed in this? And so we can come back and improve. The judges will say exactly what happened. If Steve was in second after prejudging, Iain came back a little sharper. You know, when we compared them in the 3-man call out, you know, Ian's conditioning and detail prevailed. He had there was 2 rounds at finals with the posing round and the final round. And for people that are confused, the posing routine round was not judged by your posing prowess. It was judged by your physique. So when people are like, well, Sergio won the posing award, but he placed 6th in the posing round. Yes, because Sergio had the 6th placed physique. So he placed 6th in the posing round.
But the judging, you know that doesn't really make sense though, right?
Well, of course it does, because
No, it makes sense that you're explaining it that way. I'm saying it shouldn't be judged like that. On
paper, it doesn't make sense.
It shouldn't be judged like that is what I'm saying.
Well, it's the same as, you know, when you come out in prejudging and you do your 60-second.
No. I understand what they're doing. I'm saying I personally think they should change it. I think
it should be a separate fucking score.
I think your posing score should be, is your posing good?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay, that's neither here nor there. That's
it's a different conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But the award for posing was chosen separately with a separate award and deservedly given to Sergio.
Sure.
That was a $10,000 award, not picked by the judges. It might have even been picked by like Arnold and those kind of guys. That was given to Sergio separately. The posing routine was judged like, and like Bob Chicharolo explained on his thing. He's like, you know, you have a pen. This pen can be a really good poser, but it's still a pen. Its physique fucking sucks. It doesn't move you from second to first because you did a good posing routine, you know? So it's like, you know, you're judging the physique, and the physique is still what it is. So it's
okay, but we got to wait from the point. We got to wait from the point a little bit. One second. So I just want to say this one thing. I think everybody needs to calm the fuck down a little bit about Amanda personally, because look, even though Ian's right and that professionally you probably shouldn't have said anything.
No.
At the same time, people are fucking human, and I don't think it's a big deal. Like the guy's wife, people don't realize the guy's wife went through his prep with him. She went through the Texas prep with him. She's been through all the ups and downs. She's totally invested in it. And for her to say, you know, lash out a little bit, sure, not professional, but totally fucking normal.
Listen, every single one of us.
Can I go before you go here? I think, and that the stuff on the live stream is fine.
I'm being nice. I'm letting him go.
People
are going to tell me I'm different now.
When it continued onto social media, and this is where I have an issue with it. And I think when you're trying to rally your fan base to basically reinforce your opinion, you know, onto the masses, and like as if it's going to change the outcome of the show, is just silly at that point. You know, when Gina made a post, and Gina posted a picture of Steve from prejudging to finals and saying,
I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw the whole thing.
Which I understand. She was saying she was tired of people saying that Steve faded from prejudge to finals. That's her prerogative as a coach. I get that. Look, Gina wants to show that I didn't fuck my job up. You know, I tried to bring him back better, blah, 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 which is still irrelevant to the fact of me beating him, because maybe I just got even better than his better, you know?
Yeah.
So, but
she also likes to stir the pot too.
Yeah. When Amanda's commenting in there and saying that, it's fucking bullshit, and that there's, it's rigged in politics and this kind of stuff. And that, and that she also claimed that the judges left me out of the initial call in the morning to spare me for the evening. It was like saying that, yeah. So that like, I didn't get worked at the prejudging. They saved me.
Amanda's been around for a long time. Why would
I think he's referring to Gina.
No, I'm talking about.
No, he's talking about Amanda. I read the whole thread.
Yeah.
Why? What does she think?
I got no to pick with Gina.
I don't want to go on and on about Amanda, but I don't talking about people in general. So I got.
Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Everybody, including myself, behind closed doors, I don't agree with what Amanda said. And I think, number one, I like Amanda a lot. I was on the same team with her on BSN. I have nothing but respect for Amanda, and I absolutely love Steve. That being said, Amanda's been on TV enough to know that she shouldn't ever say anything like that, regardless if it's like potential, like the camera could be on. She should have be a little more conscious of that, because she knows TV a lot better.
She's experienced.
So out of everybody there, that should have been the last person to do that. That being said, to get mad at her, to say it's unprofessional, yeah, I think she knows it was unprofessional. We don't have to fucking tell her that. Number two, behind closed doors, every one of us, some point of our career, has been at a show where either our parents, our friends, has said the same exact fucking thing that Amanda said, except it wasn't caught on camera. I've been to shows that I've taken second and heard it was politics, it was bullshit.
But wait a minute. I just want to touch on that. And then this is not about Amanda. It's about, because I've received DMs from people, what do you think about this? One guy actually said to me, Iain must be paying the judges. And I'm like, okay. So let's discuss the political bullshit that people are talking about. Steve has been around a lot longer. Steve has a major sponsor.
He's personally friends with way more judges than I am. Steve
is friends with judges, and he promotes shows for the NPC. So if anybody has more of an in, it would be Steve. So, and I'm not saying this is as a knock to Steve or anything like that. All I'm saying is this line about politics and bullshit. There was a time, and I think Guy can agree with me, there was a time probably earlier, maybe 10, 20 years ago, where you could see some things where, maybe big name guys got placed where they shouldn't have, blah, 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 these things. I think now, in the last 5 years, especially, I've seen IFBB change to the point where anybody can fucking win. Doesn't matter what your name is or who you are. And I just think the political thing is just getting fucking old. It's like,
yeah, that's stupid. I don't even address that. And even to Guy's point there, I don't disagree with Guy at all. I mean, I understand people having emotions and Amanda invested in the prep and blah, 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 blah. Where I said my issue is when this continued onto social media and where it became a personal thing against me, as if I was the one dictating these placings. And when she's saying things like that, they spared me, and that, I'm like, that me and Nick are basically like these young, cool kids that are more popular. So they're like trying to get us up there and whatever it is, I don't know where her mind is going to justify this to herself. But like I said, it's a very unfortunate, because I don't judge the shows. I just do my job of being the best bodybuilder I can be and showing up on stage and trying to win shows. Like, what is the flip side to this here? That I say, oh no, sorry, Steve actually did deserve to win. Let's trade Steve. Like, what are you looking for here? Me to admit that I think Steve beat me? Because I don't.
I think what someone's looking for when they do that is exactly what you said in the original part of this conversation is they want their 300,000 people to agree with them so that they feel right about their decision.
But obviously your fans are going to agree with you.
Of course, it doesn't serve any purpose. I'm just saying that's what they have.
There's been tons of my fans that are going to come on my photos and say that I should have beaten Nick. And I'm like, are you fucked? Like, I didn't beat Nick at all,
There were fans that said I should have won the Bahamas show. And I was like, I looked like complete dog shit. Exactly. You're fucking completely wrong.
Your fans will always support you, and they're blind. They're blind to you and the love for you. You can never take, and like, look,
it's like being in love with a girl, like that, like you love her no matter what, and like she's your number one, and that's how it is.
The thing is, it's also already done. Like, it's already done, and you cannot change it. All you can do is be better. And I don't think it.
Hold on. We're gonna see what Ivana thinks. Who got?
Hey,
not out of us.
Iain, hands down.
There we go. It's over.
That's it.
Hey,
I guess that's the.
That's it.
All right, guys. It was good talking to you.
People listen agree with that too. So now we got two against Amanda, 2 against 1.
Say what you're sorry, Ivana, you got cut out there. What would you say?
I said I think he looked absolutely outstanding, and you just improved. And I didn't see that he improved, and that was also shown. So, Hey, congrats. Let them all keep talking.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so
And look, and I just want to cap this off, and obviously I don't feel any animosity towards Gina or Steve or any of these people like that, or Amanda, sorry, anyone like that, because I understand having emotions and I understand wanting to win and how much goes into investing into the sport, and I also understand feelings a little bit of disdain towards me personally because this had just happened in Texas where they might not have agreed with the decision there. And he obviously put all his chips into Texas to get him to the Olympia. And to have it happen against me again at the Arnold, especially after you had your two-man call-out and prejudging and you were very convinced that you were top 2 in the show, I completely understand from an emotional, personal standpoint where they're coming from. I just think that people need to understand that this isn't personal. This is a job and this is a competition, and that when it's done, it's done.
I think where it takes a turn.
I don't judge the shows. I just show up to win, just like you guys do. And to have personal animosity about fucking placings in a bodybuilding show is insane and immature. And I really hope that going forward, if I see Gina and if I see Steve or if I see Amanda, that there's no personal animosity towards me. I think Steve's a great bodybuilder. I think Gina's an amazing coach. I think Amanda's a very supportive wife, and I have absolutely no animosity towards any of them about this, despite obviously them having some feelings of animosity towards me. So, going forwards, I hope that everyone can be cool about it, and I have no hard feelings about it.
okay, one more negative thing. I don't like the negative stuff, but one more negative thing. So, and Iain, you probably can't speak to this as much. You can speak to it a little bit because it's about you, but it's not only about you. So I don't know, Brett, you said you watched the live stream?
Yes.
So I heard, and I was doing my own live stream, so I don't know, but I heard Arnold was going on about the competitors and complaining about Nick's calves and complaining about Ian's calves and complaining about vacuums. And like, how bad was it, Brett?
Dude, yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because it's happened the last couple of years now. It just seems like he's so negative.
Yeah.
Like he was talking the whole time, and anything he had anything to say was just negative. And this year is the year of the calves. So it used to be the stomach, now it's the calves. Every guy that walked out, he looked at the calves first and had to make a comment about it. And it's just interesting, how he compares everything, but it all has to be negative in some aspect. And then it just I wasn't
about him, Brett. He made it about him.
I just okay, so all I want to say is it's his show, so he's free to shit on whoever he wants, right? I mean, I don't think it's also his. I don't think it's
pick the judging panel if he's fucking that butthurt about it.
Well,
he's also not judging the show, so
he can't. But what I was going to say is, as a promoter, it's not good for business to be shitting on your own competitors. You want people to think that the guys at your show are the fucking best guys in the world, and nobody.
Let's talk about the fact he didn't even give Nick a chance to. He didn't even talk to fucking Nick. First time.
Well, that was the main thing. The comment stuff didn't bother me as much as I think Nick was literally waiting to have his interview with Arnold, and then Arnold just was nowhere to be found.
He didn't have an interview with Arnold.
No. That was the worst part of the whole thing.
No, that's
because Nick literally said to Bob in the interview after, he's like, I want to bring my family up to meet Arnold because I told them they would meet Arnold, or whatever something. He said something along those lines, and then Bob was like kind of dumbfounded for a second. He's like, well, he knew he wasn't going to come back. He's like, yeah, we're going to try and find him.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to try and find him. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then
you're going to find him. The motherfucker just left at his own show.
And then Bob carried out the interview himself. And I'm like, man, Nick has probably been, because I know when I did the Arnold, I was like, man, I'm going to get to meet Arnold. I didn't think I was going to stand there and do it during a victory speech, but I thought I'd meet him, right? So I'm sure Nick was probably thinking for 12 fucking weeks straight or however long, I'm going to stand there and have to, talk to Arnold about why I won. And then the fucking guy's not there. And I'm like, is that because he didn't like Nick?
It's the only thing that makes logical sense. He was complaining he was talking about his veins, his calves, his legs. He didn't like this. It was almost like he was salty because he didn't like the decision.
But can I somebody just explain? Okay, so I've noticed a lot of these older guys are complaining a fucking lot, and I've already said my piece about how they should all just support the thing. But can somebody please fucking explain to these guys, whoever they are?
It's not 1970 anymore.
No. That's not what I'm gonna say. We have a classic division for them. They literally started a fucking division for the guys that like the small waist, the vacuums, the fucking artistry of it. That's the division you can go watch. If you're watching open bodybuilding is no longer about artistry. Open bodybuilding is about as much fucking mass, condition, symmetry, freak factor as you can bring to the stage. So if you know that coming into your own show and you're sitting there commentating, you should be like, okay, the freaks are up. I'm going to fucking comment on how freaky they are. Not they should be artistic. You already had the artistic guys up. You have the fucking whole division for those people.
I have a question because I can't remember, and you were competing in this day. When guys like Branch Warren were winning the Arnold, what was Arnold saying about them and their physiques?
We all have.
I don't think Arnold was commentating.
No, but you would always hear things back, backstage. Or he always complained about the guts and about the pose. Guys are shaking during their poses,
and guys don't put enough. He used to say guys don't put enough time into their posing routines.
Yeah, it's always something.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that's a guy who's just never happy, and somebody who said what he said, lost all those sponsors, and didn't this sounds kind of corny, be on his best behavior at his show after the fucking backlash he caught and the negativity he did during the commentary, and then leaving Nick hanging to dry. Like, it's just disrespect after disrespect after. It's like, when does it stop with this?
But I just don't get it. I'm like, look, man, like the fucking classic division's for you.
Well, I also don't understand. Like you're choosing to hold a bodybuilding show because you love bodybuilding.
Yeah,
and then you shit on it the entire time.
But he wants it to be like it was in his day, and I'm like, that's cool. Then go sit in the commentary booth.
Then jump in the fucking DeLorean and go back to the future, bro.
No, but like when Classic is on, sit there with Cedric and go on about their posing and their vacuums, and when then bodybuilding comes on, leave and let Dennis James and Cedric talk about the bodybuilding. Like,
well, I'm going to tell you this, and this bothered me too, and I know nobody's going to touch on it, and I have no problem with Cedric, but Cedric, yes, ma'am, to everything Arnold said.
Yeah, but can't blame him for that, man. Think about it. You're sitting next to Arnold.
I don't know. If I was there, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Dexter won in Olympia with no calves. I don't know what
you're full of shit.
You don't think I would say that in front of Arnold? Like,
I think if you were sitting next to Arnold, you'd be licking his nuts.
Arnold's scary, man.
Yeah.
All right, get Arnold on the podcast, and we'll see what happens.
It's not a knock on you, guy. I think anybody who's sitting next to Arnold is going to be like intimidated. Or
if he said something about Nick's veins, I would have been like this. I didn't know they judged veins in a bodybuilding show, but that's just me.
Such a liar. You would not say that.
Oh, man, you don't know me then, bro.
So you think you're sitting next to Arnold. You're on commentary. It's live. And you think if he said, I don't know about Nick's veins in his calves, you would say, well, I don't know the last time they judged that.
Put it like this.
Fucking would not.
When John Jewett won a show in Tampa in 2019, when they put me in dead center when I was really sick and I could barely stand because my hemoglobin was almost under 9, they put me in first and then gave me, I think, third or fourth in the elevator with the judges. They go, hey, guy, congrats on your return, man. You look phenomenal. My girlfriend was standing next to me. I go, so phenomenal that you guys put me dead center and then gave me fourth. I go, explain to me how that made sense.
Okay.
So if you think I won't say that?
No. Wait,
not judging the show. You're crazy.
That doesn't prove anything.
But I'm saying, if I will say it to people that are judging the show and scoring me, you think I'm not going to say it to a promoter who doesn't doesn't judge me at all?
No, because it's not a promoter. It's fucking Arnold, and it's live commentary. So you're going to try and be as agreeable and professional as possible.
No, because it's just like I would treat it just like the podcast. If I don't agree with something you, Ian, or Brett said, I'm going to tell you I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Why would I yes somebody to death? Because then it would go against my beliefs and who I am. If I think Nick should be winning and Nick has some fucking night crawlers in his calves, I'd be like, he's got some fucking varicose veins. You think that's the reason he shouldn't win the fucking show? You got to be kidding me.
All I'm saying is, if personally, I think
I would do it professionally.
The majority of people, let's say that then, the majority of people, if you're sitting next to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's also the promoter of the show, and it's a live commentary, you're probably not going to be like, yeah, I think you're right.
I wouldn't be argumentative, but I would give my opinion. Like, I didn't like the fact that, like, I was upset more for Dennis because I liked Dennis's commentary. He barely said anything because he couldn't.
Yeah, I heard he didn't get to say too much.
And I feel like he didn't say anything because I feel like he disagreed with Arnold and he just didn't want to get into the bickering.
Yeah, who do we got to give a fucking hand job to get Fouad doing these goddamn shows, you know?
I'm not part of the good old boys club, man. I wish. That'd be a fucking dream.
Will be. Eventually, you will be. Eventually, these guys will get old and die, and you'll be. You know?
We gotta wait. We gotta wait for people to die so I can commentate.
Well, I don't fucking know what else we got to do. It seems it's going.
That's the one-liner of the fucking week.
I mean,
you gotta wait for the guys to get old and die.
Everyone wants to just see Dennis James and Fouad commentate shows. That's all we want. That's all everybody wants. I don't think there's any bodybuilders here, period, or even just regular fans that want to listen to Arnold and Amanda Latona. We want to listen to Fouad and Dennis James and maybe Cedric. If Cedric is not going to just ride nuts, we want to listen to these guys, you know?
I think in Amanda's defense, I think they had her there for bikini and that. And so you definitely.
Which Amanda should be there.
You need that. You need that for there. Yeah.
She's a good personality. She's very educated and well-versed in the bikini world. She should be there for that, but she shouldn't be there for the class her husband's fucking competing in, you know?
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So Olympia.
Yes, sir.
What do you get? I just want to know what you think your placing is going to be before we move on. You were 7th last year.
He didn't say squeeze out a poop. He said think.
I'm thinking of who's ahead of me.
All right, you know what? Let me ask Brett. Before you think, while you're thinking about it, Brett, what do you think? Who do you think the top 3 is? Let's start there. If everybody, assuming everybody's 100%, let's not play the game of this guy's going to be off or that. Let's assume everybody's 100%.
Oof. Top 3. Let's go Rami, Hadi, and then mattering on how he comes in. But after that, I think that's where I think Iain and Nick are going to swing in, battle it out with William. And it's going to be really close. So that's what I'm really excited to see. But like you said, I don't know what Brandon looks like. So you know how his legs are going to be this year. So one of those guys can move up into that spot as well. But just from, being a previous Mr. O, that always helps. It's always going to get you up there. And Hadi and I think Rami will just be on just because they've been here for the last 6 to 8 weeks finally. And it's going to be good.
So I have a conflicting thoughts. So I really want to see Nick next to Hadi because I have a feeling they have very similar.
I think that'll be the best call, the best comparison.
Yeah, right. But then there's a conflict. There's a conflict there because I think James is going to fuck a lot of people up, and I don't think people see him coming. And
he's my dark horse. I
really think James is going to be in that top 5, 6, and I'm like, I don't think people are making that connection.
He looks like a freak.
Yeah, he's really changed his physique. The balance he's shown this year compared to last year is so different. Last year, I called him Branch Warren 2.0 when he competed in Spain because it reminded me he had the massive legs. Stomach wasn't totally small, but it had a great back, but it was a little bit smaller. It wasn't balanced. It was more leg than upper body. This year, I don't know. Him and Patrick have gone to work, man. He definitely looks more balanced, and it's just a really fucking crazy physique.
Do you think it's an advantage or disadvantage that we haven't seen him in so long coming into this?
Well, I was going to ask you guys that if you think the fact that it's his first Olympia will be a hindrance in any way.
No.
James's?
Yeah.
It was Nick's first Arnold.
Yeah, I don't think Steve and Tyler play that bullshit anymore, man. I think these guys, like, if you look good, they give you a look. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think you could have been just random Joe Blow off the street, and if you showed up at the Arnold looking like you were first place, they would have put you in first place. These guys don't give a shit.
Okay, so saying that, if we all agree with that, does James deserve a look in that top 6?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Potentially, yeah. I don't think James will beat me, but I think he'll be right there with. This is how I see it. I see it's going to be Rami, Hadi, Nick or Brandon, then whichever one of them places higher, then me, then Bonac, then guys like James, Akeem, Nathan, them.
I think you and James is going to be a big call-up. I don't think it's as. I think the reason I say that is you guys are both imposing in the sense that you're heavily muscled and very, very conditioned. And it's going to be a good side by side to see.
I mean, shit, if they it would be awesome if they did it like, when they used to do like back in the Olympia where they do like the tallest guy and the shortest guy and like, 2-man call-outs that were just like cool.
Yeah.
If they just did some hype call-outs, like just do Rami or just do like Bonac.
Stuff people want to see. Yeah, Nick and
Hadi and Nick, even if they're not. Do me and James. What
I'd love to see is Nick, Hadi, and Bonac. That 3-man call-out would be fucking sweet.
I'm going to agree with you to a point, but I think that those guys are a bit ahead of Bonac right now.
I don't think you're giving Bonac enough credit.
Yeah, I saw a back double bicep, a Bonac that he posted, I think like 2 days ago, and he looked fucking insane.
I'm gonna
He's
say
the most roundest, bubbly guy. That's why when you said you put him, I was like, man, you're putting Bonac from second, like all the way down there.
I'm thinking like, if age has not caught up with him, and he's still like that, the original Bonac.
Already starting to show that signs last year, and I think that after this year and all the troubles, and then I think with his travel issues he's had now, I don't see him being better than last year. I think he's going to be 10% worse than last year.
And you think that's why it puts you ahead of him?
I think he was 5th last year. I was 7th. I think he's 10% worse. I think I'm 15% better. I think that puts me ahead of him.
Stage math.
Yeah. Hey, look, I gotta put myself somewhere,
No, listen, that's fine. You can put yourself in first. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just, we're all gonna have to do the lineups eventually.
I think I'm somewhere between 4th and 6th.
4th and 6th. I think that's fair. Like I said, I think what's really funny is I think it's a really good idea. I didn't think about doing individual call outs for the crowd.
Yeah.
Like seeing you and James come out in a single call out would be fucking awesome.
Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah. We're skipping over one thing. We have the Arnold UK this weekend.
Yeah.
So before we
that's
sorry,
Nathan,
Brett.
That's Nathan.
Nathan's doing it.
Yeah, so I got the lineup here. I wonder if I can share my phone. Be careful with that.
Or you could just email it to yourself real quick.
Okay. It's not. Wait a minute. I think I might have it here. No. No.
Is this a qualifier for next year then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. That's fucking weird. Yeah, maybe I'll just email it to myself. You're right. You're right, guy.
Well, is it here? I'll pull it up.
Oh, wait. You know what? I don't have to fucking email to myself.
Just go to ifpro.com.
No, it's in my DMs. It's fine. Okay. So this is the list here. Just let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. Boom. That's the list.
There we go.
So we have Nathan. The names stick out to me. Nathan, Samson, Tim, Budazyme, Theo, Kuba, Joe Seaman will do well.
Joe Seaman, huh?
Okay. So
Patrick Johnson's guy's big as hell, but I don't know if he's ever gets quite good enough shape.
is that the black guy with the big black guy with the big arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like black.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be black, bro?
Because he's black. Sorry, what do you want me to call him? He's fucking black. All right, so this is Nathan's show to lose, right?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, this is Nathan in by a mile in my mind.
So we have Nathan, Samson. It's going to be a hostile 1-2 possibly.
I see it going Nathan, Tim, Samson, Joe Seaman.
I think Samson's going to beat Tim.
I think Tim's conditioning is way too superior to almost everybody's in this lineup to lose to anyone but Nathan.
All right. Well,
I think that Patrick Johnson's going to be a dark horse.
That's why I mentioned his name. I think he'll be good. I think him and Samson, and I'm not just saying this because they're both big black guys. I'm saying it's because I think they'll be a good comparison. I think that'll be your comparison for 3rd and 4th. And I think Joe, being a big, hard dude as well, will be in that group as well.
I'm going to go. Should we bet on this? We haven't bet in a while.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, we did. We bet on the Arnold.
You have your.
Oh, wait a minute. We did bet on the Arnold.
Yeah, but nobody. I don't think anybody picked Nick, and I think you had to win.
I picked fucking Nick.
Well, we all picked William, and he didn't show up.
Yeah, but we'll just do that. We'll just be like, oh, that's it's a wash.
Yeah, does anyone have Nick in 1st and me in 2nd?
I have this. So I have.
Oh shit!
Guy picked Bonac 1st, Iain 2nd, Nick 3rd.
Sorry, guy.
Fuck, Ian, you couldn't even come through, you son of a bitch.
Sorry, man.
Sergio 4th, Steve 5th, Akeem 6th. So, guy,
you really fucked that up, guy.
You shit the bet on that guy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. Fouad, spit. Why don't you spit yours? Spit yours. You had Akeem first. You had Akeem.
No, I didn't.
No,
you originally didn't he have Akeem first?
I got the fucking numbers right.
Wait. Nick, Brett, didn't he have Akeem first?
Just why don't you shut up? Just shut up for a second.
Fouad.
Roman had Bonac first, Iain second, Sergio third, Akeem fourth, Kukla fifth, Nick sixth. So Roman's the worst so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did Roman have to do again? Shave his beard, or what was he supposed to do?
Shave his head. His head.
Oh yeah, he had to shave his head. That's right. So Brett had.
Shaved head.
Oh, Brett might be the worst. Brett got Bonac, Akeem, Iain third, Sergio fourth, Nick fifth, Kukla sixth.
Wow.
You better go get the buzzer, buddy.
Brett, go get the clippers right now. Do it in the office.
Hey, what you guys all should be mad at is Akeem here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I had Iain first, Bonac second, Nick third, Akeem fourth, Sergio fifth, Steve sixth.
That's pretty bad too.
It's
You guys
not as
are all
bad as
pretty-
Brett's.
I don't know. You and Brett are
That's
both pretty
everyone,
bad.
but we're all pretty bad.
Me and you were pretty even on our picks.
You're pretty even.
Suck pull. I'm not doing shit.
I said we're even. I said Brett.
Ready
just
for
got the
this?
word-
Here, I have a confession.
What?
I the other night I had the
Oh, Evan did you dirty, fucking Ian.
What do you have me in?
Evan had Bonac, Steve, Nick, Akeem, Sergio, Iain sixth, Justin seventh. Seth Feroci had Nick first.
Wow.
Seth picked it, right?
Sick.
Seth, but I think Bonac was out when I had Seth on, so he had the.
Either way.
So Nick first, Kuklo second, Iain third, Sergio fourth, Akeem fifth, Justin sixth.
Okay,
Seth had almost all of them right except for you and
he's
Steve.
almost right. Yeah, that's good. Shit, is he the only one that watches bodybuilding? That's crazy.
I guess he's the only one with a fucking brain. Brett just shit the bed completely. Brett, do you even watch bodybuilding? Or you just pick the names out of a hat?
See, the thing is, I would have picked different, but I knew William wasn't there, right?
So,
I don't know. I didn't know if Akeem had the demeanor to actually win the show. You know, it's like when we go back to like, you know, displaying the posing and everything. But I thought he was going to surprise people in the second. It did not work out.
I don't think it was
Bonac didn't show up. I would have thought that maybe Ian would have had like a little cortisol issue, and I would have put Ian in second and Nick in first. But I didn't know.
I think
you guys got to all go buy $100 worth of fucking Seth Feroci supplements now.
Yeah. Okay, Brett, when are you going to shave your head?
After the Olympia.
You're
fuck
such
that.
Wait,
No, you don't get
I'm
to
not
do
competing,
that.
you pussy.
Yo, bald and shit.
You don't have
Yeah.
to look. You want to see how you fix bald?
You just put a hat on.
I mean, it's only 10 days. You can go 10 days and then shave it. Come on.
Yeah, you'll have this.
Stop,
in
Ian.
10 days.
It's supposed to be a punishment, not a fucking. It's not supposed
Yeah, you
to
don't
be.
have to pick. Yeah, when you get in trouble as a kid, you don't go, "Hey, can you spank me next week?"
Yeah.
Are you fucking retarded? Are you kidding me?
All right. What are we betting on this one?
What, the Arnold Europe? I'm not even betting on this.
We're not betting on Arnold UK. All right. We'll just do picks. We don't have to bet. Arnold, we'll bet on the Olympia. Olympia is going to be like a fucking tattoo.
I don't want to bet.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ian. I got to share my screen so you can see the names.
Yeah.
Is this for the O?
No, this is for the UK.
Arnold UK.
Okay.
Okay, Nathan,
Nathan,
Tim, fuck. Nathan, Tim. I can't decide between.
What are you trying to decide? Speak it out loud.
Let me look.
Who's Theo?
Theo's the French guy. French guy, black hair. He's got good physique. It's very complete. Usually he needs to come in like a little bit harder than he does in previous shows. I think he'll do better.
Okay, I don't know if Patrick Johnson's going to be hard enough.
I don't think Patrick Johnson's going to be as hard as you guys think he is. I don't think he'll be.
I mean, he looks good, but he's not. Okay, so I'm going to put. See, but you've probably seen what Samson looks like, so that's not fair.
No, I haven't seen anything like private photos or anything. I just know he's working with Milos and he's very driven, so I think he'll be in shape.
September 17th.
Because Milos did a really good job with Max, so I think he'll do the same for Samson.
Did you see him call out Max after the prejudging?
Yeah,
because didn't Max say he wanted to do his own final like part of the prep or something like that?
Yeah, so like 3 days before the show, he told Milos that he wanted to do his own prep, and then after prejudging, Milos posted a picture of him and explained how he told him he wasn't going to work with him, and then he said he didn't come in stage ready, and it was a bad decision for him.
I gotta just answer my phone here 1 second.
That's kind of silly. Why would fucking Milos do that?
He deleted it, so somebody got on him about it. But I thought, somebody said that to me. I was laughing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
I mean, listen, let me ask you a question. If I was coaching somebody and they went on stage to represent me and they decided to not work with me the last bit of prep and they looked off, I wouldn't want my name tattooed to them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't publicly go out of my way to say I didn't work with him. I would just wait till people message me, and then I'd be like, I didn't finish his prep with him.
Oh, I thought this was because people were messaging him that he didn't look good, and he was
no. He made a whole post about it.
No, he just went out of his way.
Oh, he went out. Oh, so people weren't saying, "Oh, Max was off. Max didn't look good." Max this. Oh, okay. I thought he was doing it as a justification. I'm like, I would have done the same thing if people.
No, that would be different. That would be different. If I was getting blamed for someone, then I would be like, I didn't finish. That's a totally different thing. So, okay, Ian, are you back or what?
Yeah. So sorry, that was furniture delivery. I'm gonna do Nathan, Tim, Joe Seaman, Samson, Theo, Patrick Johnson.
We'll just do top 5. Theo. Okay. Brett, top 5.
Let's go, Nathan. Oh, I'm gonna stick hostile. Let's go, Nathan, Samson, Tim. I'm gonna go Patrick Johnson, then Joe Seaman. I mean, he's gonna surprise somebody.
Wow, you guys are big on Patrick, eh?
I like him.
Maybe I don't follow him enough to know.
He doesn't post at all.
Yeah, but I think the last time he competed, when was the last time he competed? He wasn't really in shape, was he? Or am I thinking about somebody else?
No, I don't think he'll be in crazy good shape, but I think him and Samson will be in comparable condition. And I just think it'll be close between them, but I think Samson's a little better. So I think they'll be close.
Guy, what do you think?
Well, this lineup is very weird to me because I don't know a lot of these guys. So I'm going to go with Nathan because I think he just dominates this lineup.
Yeah.
I'll go with Samson.
Yep.
I'll go with Mr. Seaman just because I like his last name. It's funny. I'll go with Patrick in 4th. And who's the guy everybody was adding in 5th? Theo.
Yeah, Theo.
I don't know any of these guys.
That's okay. You're just good. We're not betting anything anyway.
I'll put Theo there.
Okay. All right. I got Nathan, Samson, Tim, Seaman, and then Theo.
Good.
So, okay. It's not as fun. We don't have nothing to lose, though.
Mm-hmm.
Brett, I think you should go get the Clippers now. I think you should do it live.
They're on the way.
Are they really?
No.
No. He wants to look pretty for the Olympia. Leave him alone.
Probably going to do a shoot for you. You don't want me all bald and stuff.
Yeah, I do. It'll look more hardcore. You won't be as pretty. We don't do pretty at Hostile. We're rough. We're rough.
By the end of the Olympia, this podcast is everybody on it's going to have bald head and beard.
Yeah. No, at the end of the Olympia, we're all going to have tattoos. Well, someone's going to have a tattoo. We should do a tattoo.
We have to agree on the tattoo before this.
We should do the other person's supplement company tattoo. So if you lose, guy, you should get a Hostile somewhere on your fucking body.
I'll get it right on my taint.
Imagine getting that tattoo. Fucking sitting there with your legs fucking spread.
Oh. Yeah, girls like, what's that? I go, that's Hostile down there.
You don't want to go down there.
You don't want to go down there. It's Hostile down there.
All right, man. The Olympia is fucking next week. I feel like the UK Arnold's getting overshone because of the Arnold Ohio and then the fucking Olympia, and then fucking nobody's really talking about the Arnold UK. I feel like I didn't even know that was going on. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they did themselves a kind of a disservice by putting it like right smack between the two biggest shows.
Well, I think they were trying to rush getting the Arnolds put on, and not because originally they were just going to cancel.
Maybe they thought putting it between the two biggest shows would get them more exposure. But I think people on
a normal year. When is it usually? I don't remember.
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's this close to the Olympia. Like usually,
usually it goes like March, and then they're like April, May-ish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Any other news of the week, Brett? How's your off season going? We talked about Ian for the last hour.
So we got a new puppy last week, so that's allowed me to. I have to take him out to piss every night at like 2 a.m. So
what kind of dog?
It's an Italian breed. It's called like a Legato Romagnolo. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'll show you, guys.
Ivana brought it back with her from Serbia. So she was in Serbia the last 3 weeks.
Did you know, or was it just like, hi, honey, I'm home with a dog?
No, she told me because she had to go through the whole like visa process and everything. So her parent or her family out there raises them. It's I don't have a picture on there. I don't think of it.
Oh, I thought I saw one. I was it in your stories.
I don't know. I got a lot of crap on there right now.
What is that?
That's Flavor Gang.
Oh, that's your sauce.
It's coming.
It looks.
But anyway, the dog has allowed me to add another meal in, so I get up anyway, and so I've been eating another meal at 2 a.m, and my weight's starting. It's been beneficial for multiple reasons.
Wait, really?
What?
You got to get up, dude. I've raised multiple dogs. I've never had to wake up early, even puppies, and take them out to pee.
Well, I'm just making sure he doesn't piss in our bedroom.
You got to pull their water, Brett, at like 8 o'clock. Pull the water.
Okay. You got to pull the water.
No. Not like you
I guess.
like literally take the water off the ground.
Give a quarter size. I'd pull water at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I used to do that for my dogs too. I would take away their food and water at like 8 p.m. That way I don't have to fucking get up in the middle of the night.
I feed them early, but usually the water, we don't take it out yet. But like I said, it's giving me a reason to eat more. So weight is flying up.
Water, add in a little diazide and Anavar. The dog won't wake up at all.
What's your weight at now, Brett?
You give dogs Winstrol and EQ. You don't give them Anavar, guys.
Oh, my bad.
What's your weight at now?
People will jump on that now.
Yeah, you guys are going to get fucked up for saying that.
What? Those are veterinary's drugs for dogs.
We know that.
So is Trent.
Brett, what are you at now? What's your weight at now?
I was 267 this morning, so keep going.
You got a long way to go still, man.
Yeah, but your 267 is like you're 20 pounds at most over stage weight. You're lean at 267. Like when I saw you in Florida, like you look like most guys look at 290 size wise because you're so lean.
Yeah. We keep it tight, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, no, if you saw him like in a tank top, you'd be like, "This is not 267." You know,
keep it tight with that ridiculous shake I see that you make.
Is that the one with the eggs and the peanut butter and the fucking? Jeez.
Every morning.
That's why I suck at bodybuilding.
Well, there's other reasons why you suck at
bodybuilding. Easier, so you don't have to eat all that shit.
Huh?
It makes bodybuilding easier, so you don't have to eat all of it.
I can't even eat anymore, man. You know what?
Oh yeah, you were complaining the other night.
No, because people ask who my coach is. So I'm working with Dennis James because we work well together. We kind of have similar thought processes on shit. And he's got me eating 7 meals a day now. And I'm like, I was eating 4 for like a year straight. So all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, man, I can't get this fucking food in. It's not even a lot of food. I'm just not used to eating so often. But I'm probably going to win Toronto now, so who knows?
Not if Cisternino
Diet's still on right now?
What's that, Brett?
Diet's still on right now? You're rolling?
Fucking right, man. I'm fucking down to 270. I'm fucking starting to look good.
Brett, when he loses,
Guy? What are you doing, Guy?
Guy's going to get smoked.
I'm going to beat Fouad, and then he's got to get my name tattooed on him. That's what I'm working for.
You guy made it better to do the tattoos. But, Guy, you're not going to show up.
Huh.
I'll do Toronto with you.
Fuck you, Ian.
Listen, we don't need to be embarrassed.
Ian's been dying to compete against old Fouad because he can't compete against the young Fouad.
Yeah, the young Fouad beat me twice, so I need to get at least one win
to get one back. It would be fun, actually. Ian, you should do it. Would you keep dieting?
Sure.
When is it?
You might run into this guy and you have a problem.
I mean, if I run into that guy, maybe I will have a problem.
You're going to run into that guy. Where are you going to find his hair?
Ian, would you keep dieting for Toronto?
Sure. Yeah.
When is it?
But we're not even going to be in the same call out. It won't be fun.
Yeah, because I'll be in the first and you'll be in the last.
The second. I'll be in the second call. I'll be in the last.
I doubt there'll even be that many call outs for the guys at Toronto this year. So
ready for this? Every open show I've done, I've been in the first call out.
Ever? Like
I've done 2 open shows.
Oh, every open show.
Arnold. They were both Arnolds. And both Arnolds, I was first call out.
How many
in Australia?
How many guys were in the show? 7?
4.
No. Arnold Australia, you fucking pricks, were like 11 or 12.
Yeah, but there's like 3 good guys and the rest are just local Australian guys.
Yeah.
Listen, I beat guys that were like 250, 260, 270, so you could all suck a fat one.
So, okay, wait. How many times have you been in the last call out in your career?
Last? No, never.
I've been once in the last call out.
I was going to say one, and that would have been fucking Tampa this year, but it was like second to last. And then I came back 2 weeks later and got first call out.
Yeah, mine was at the Olympia. It was last call.
My first Olympia was last call, and that's the only time in my life I've ever been the last call.
No, I've actually never been. I've always been second call at the DO every year, and I was first when I got sixth.
Outside of Olympias, I think I've been basically in the first call in every single show I've ever done.
I can't say that. Well, no, I can't say that because I was usually in second call outs at the Arnold. I think I'm pretty much in the first call out of every smaller show.
I came second at the Arnold, so.
How's this? There's only
we're not competing, Ian. Take a deep breath.
Besides the Olympias, there's
plus my arrow is full of jack guys. Your arrow is a little different.
Oh, sure.
I have to say something. Fuck off.
Fouad, here's a stat. All the shows I've done, not just taking the Olympias out, I've only not been in the first call out 2 times.
Yeah, it's good.
My entire career. That's the only time, not including Olympias. At regular shows, only twice. I've never been.
Every show he's ever done as pro.
Huh?
Right?
Me?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've done 2 pro shows. You've been first call in both.
No, so I my first show ever as a pro, I did the 212. I did the
Toronto.
For Toronto, I did, what was it? Puerto Rico. I got like 14th place.
Really?
I thought Toronto was the only one.
I almost quit body, but I was so fucking pissed. I was like, I thought I was gonna go in there and win it. And then like it was just down there, and I got like I think I got
that when Zane won and Cody took second.
Yeah.
And the next week I got 6th at Toronto, so I was first call out there, and then came back and got first call out as my open. But yeah, that was the only ever time, and I don't want to.
Oh wait, you know what? I totally forgot. My very first show ever was the week after I got my pro card. I flew down to Atlantic City just to see what it was like, and I did that pro show a week after I got my pro card. I got last call out there.
Was that the year that they had 212 and Flex won it?
I don't know. I remember Matt
that show in the open.
Or was that when Craig Richardson won it? Because I went to those shows in AC.
Atlantic City 2007. I think Craig Richardson might have won that show.
I was there.
Right.
That's when his arms were all. That's when his arms were all jimmied up.
He looked fucking really good for a couple of years.
That's when he fat loaded. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only time I ever got. But that doesn't count. It was like the week after I got my pro card. I was like 225 pounds or some shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, how did you know how we got on that? How did we get on that? Oh, Ian's going to do Toronto.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Sure. I'll do every show. You guys want to do every show? I'll do every show.
You're not going to keep dieting to fucking December.
Why not? I'm going and doing European shows. I'm still going, bro.
Oh, you're going to go to like Prague and shit?
I'm going to do them all.
I'm going to no, I'm serious. Are you going to Prague?
I might do Romania and what was the other one, babe?
Do the Prague show because they're asking me to come out to commentate.
Yeah, there's a couple over there that are like, there's 3 shows in 4 weeks. I might just go do them all.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck, you're going to walk away with $200,000 this year.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Get a house.
Okay, let's do some questions.
I remember saying that to Nick when he like they called him and called me in second. I looked at him. I'm like, hey buddy, I'm like, you just won $135,000. Like you can buy a fucking house now.
Is that what it was for the Arnold? 135?
135. Plus he won the most muscular, so he won another 10, so 145.
That's a weekend.
Does he
That's good. That's good.
Does Arnold still give away like a watch or anything, or no? They don't do that anymore?
No.
Remember that? Remember when Ronnie won? They gave him a fucking Hummer.
You got a jacket.
Well, the guy who promoted the Texas show, Freddie Nadeau, he said that next year they're going to try and do cool shit like that and give out like a car or like a fucking
in Texas
motorcycle. You know,
that's pretty sweet.
How much did they take care of you, Ian? The Arnold? Did you like hotel room like 1 or 2 nights or?
Yeah, it's the same as the Olympia. They'll cover your flight and hotel, and they give you $50 or $75 a day per diem for food and that kind of stuff.
The Arnold's does. Yeah.
The Arnold's is the exact same as the Olympian. They cover.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a few questions and we'll go. We've already been on for a while. Basically, we just talked to Ian for like an hour and a half.
Whoa, come on.
Let's talk about.
And I enjoyed it because
you deserve it. You took second at the Arnold.
Thank you.
It's your fucking day, brother.
Don't make me feel bad about that, dickhead.
No. Okay. No, don't feel bad. It's good. That's what you're on for. Okay. Would you rather fart extremely loud every time you see a woman or never see another woman again?
Fart extremely loud.
Brett?
mean, I'm usually farting anyway, so it wouldn't be much.
I got to fart right now.
Would you rather sneeze every time you blink or cough every time you swallow?
Sneeze every time you blink. Oh my God, you blink so much. Then cough every time you swallow. For sure.
Yeah. But then you're going to spit up your food every time you try and swallow.
It doesn't say that.
Oh, those are both still really bad.
No, you swallow then cough. I don't think that you're going to regurgitate every time.
I would just start chewing a lot of tobacco like Guy, so I don't have to swallow often. I just be spitting all the time.
Ever sponsored by a company and didn't use their products?
No.
Yes, not fully.
Only Muscle Tech.
No, I use Muscle Tech stuff.
Oh.
No, I would so when I was with Muscle Tech, I used their stuff, but they used to, I will say that they used to have a sign off on ads for stuff that I didn't use. So if they had like 50 SKUs, like 50 different items, I probably used like 10.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, and the same thing for Cytec. Cytec had like, man, they had like 200 different products, but I used like
still around. Like, what's the deal with them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they still sponsor. They sponsor Bonac actually.
Do they?
Yeah, Bonac's their athlete now. So I've been with companies where I didn't use all their stuff, but I don't think I've ever been with a company that didn't use anything.
Well, yeah, obviously you're not going to use all their stuff. I mean, like, there's going to be fucking female multivitamins I don't use, but I mean, like,
no, I mean, like, Cytec had like, they had like 6 different pre-workouts, and like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. What is your biggest pet peeve while in a relationship? What does the other person do or say that eats at you? Yeah, Melissa.
What's my biggest pet peeve of you?
Since you're sitting there, it says, what is your biggest pet peeve while in a relationship? What does the other person do or say that eats at you?
Farting every time she blinks.
What's something you do that annoys me? I can't even think of something.
I don't like when I talk about that.
You told me the other time she puts the shaker cups in the sink and doesn't.
Oh yeah, the shaker cups in the sink.
I don't even do that.
She's actually not doing that.
I do the same thing. I put the shaker cup in the sink and I put the lid inside the shaker cup and fill it with water.
You hear what she just said? She's like, the podcast fixed our relationship.
Why don't I hate?
What?
Everybody does it. I hate people that fucking wash their hands in the sink and then just go like this and then just walk away because they don't want to dry them off, and then they just drip all over every fucking girl that I've dated washes their fucking hands and doesn't dry them and just like
who doesn't dry their hands?
I have to dry the piss out.
It drives me fucking crazy.
I've never met anybody who does that.
Oh my God, I used to scream. I'm like, dry your fucking hands. You get it all over the kitchen floor. That's clean.
That's why
dry your fucking hands.
That's why you're single.
Because I like dry hands.
No, because you're yelling at your fucking girlfriend.
just be fucking like a little fucking clean and cleanly. Like pick up after yourself. I don't like that.
Or do you get used to her first?
What?
What'd you say?
I said, is that on the first day you'll yell at him for that? Or do you
Oh, if a girl comes to my house and uses the sink and doesn't dry, I'm like, you got to dry your hands or I'm going to freak out.
Do you tell her to leave or do you bang her first and then tell her to leave?
It depends where we are with the hand washing. If I see it before
dry the hands.
Just close your eyes.
If we're going to do this, you got to dry those things off.
Brett,
what's your pet peeve, Fouad?
I was going to ask Brett. I have a million. I'm an asshole to be with. Everything. You know, Summer does a lot. She'll use something and she won't tighten the cap back on top.
Oh, that
drives me fucking nuts. Like,
actually, I know what mine is.
What?
I know what mine is. Oh, wait. What you do or what she does?
Me?
No, Ian.
What?
No, I know what my pet peeve is in a relationship, or what Melissa specifically.
Oh, what?
And I think a lot of girls do this actually. They clean up, but don't remember where they put anything.
Yes.
So like, they always want the place to be tidy. So like our house is always like pristine, but then like I'll leave something out.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, hey babe, where did you put my cell phone charger? And she'd be like, I don't know. Why would I know where your cell phone charger is? I'm like, well, you fucking cleaned it up, but you can't even be mad because they're doing it cleaning up. So it's like, you can't be mad that they're cleaning, but then they put your shit where they don't even know where it is.
Can you send me a girl who cleans up? Because I have to find one of them. Can you send me one of those? I'll take the putting shit away, and I don't know where it is. Over cleaning up.
Well, I can never find anything, and she doesn't remember where she puts it because she just like blindly cleans, you know.
Is there something that you do that, Melissa? Like I used to always get complained. Like I leave cabinet doors open. Like I'll go in the cabinets and open doors.
That
and
drives me nuts.
Push them shut.
That
So I used to get always bitched at for doing that.
What do I do, bud?
Where do I start?
Brett, do you have something?
So perfect example of what Iain said was just last night. I get home and I had ordered some like glutathione and I was going to try some MK677 for appetite.
Yeah.
It came in the same package, and Ivana always does it. She just goes through packages and mail, just rips it open, grabs it, pulls it out, and throws it away, you know?
Yeah.
And so I get home and all she has is the glutathione. I go, well, hey, where's the MK677? And she's like, oh, no, that was it. And I go, no, there was more in there.
She threw away the rest of it.
And she's like, well, I took the trash out. So what? I had to go fucking dig through the trash to find it. And there it was at the bottom of the trash bag. Dig through that fucking shit. Another thing is lately it's been, she uses
There's going to be girls on this podcast like this.
Yeah.
She uses the washing machine as her laundry basket. So she'll just throw her clothes in there and leave them there until she's going to wash them all.
I do
And
that.
I'm just like, when am I going to wash my clothes? I never get a chance.
Just throw them on top. No.
Oh no, I do them separately because she doesn't trust me.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I use my washer as a laundry basket, but I live.
Wait a minute. Why do you do your laundry separate? I don't understand.
Because girls have cooties.
It's just probably soaked in sweat and stinky. And
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What are you looking at me like?
Wait,
that?
that's the consensus in your household that she doesn't want your sweaty clothes touching her dirty clothes.
No, Summer says that. Summer says that shit to me too. That's true.
Yeah, but you're that doesn't. Make
yeah, but if they're gonna sit in the, then you'll get your funk on their clothes.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna throw them all in and do a load, what does it matter?
Melissa also has like a lot of expensive clothes that need to be like hung dry and stuff like that, where I'll throw everything in the wash, take it all out together, all colors, all fabrics.
Yeah.
No, my clothes. Like you'll do all my clothes together. I don't do my.
Yeah, like I don't separate whites and colors and towels. No. Everything goes in the same fucking thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I had girls that were like, "Oh, I don't dry these leggings because they fit different when you dry them." I'm like, then you got to do your own shit because I'm not sitting here fucking picking out your individual.
You know what pet peeve I just thought of? Summer will always leave one bite of whatever the fuck she's eating on her plate. Always. And even if I put less than last time, she'll still leave one bite.
I used to do this. Melissa would never do. Like she
drives me fucking crazy. Yeah.
I would have I had a girlfriend that every time we ate, especially we were out to dinner, if we were done eating and I was like, I'm fucking stuffed. And she was like, yeah, I'm full too. And I took a bite. Like I was like, I'll take one more bite. She always had to be the last person to take a bite at the table. So I would sit there even with my friends and be like this. I would take a bite and be like, watch what she does. She's going to take a bite.
You did not.
Oh, every fucking time. My buddies would be like, and I'd call her out. I'm like, every fucking time, you got to always take a bite. She's like, no, I don't. And then we'd sit there and I would like nonchalantly take another bite. And then I'd be like, watch. And then like 5 minutes would go by, fucking go take another. Like she couldn't leave the goddamn table without taking the last bite off her plate.
I think me and you get along so well. We're both fucking insane. You are fucking insane. You know that, right?
See, I would never notice.
The fact that you noticed that she took the bite after you means you're crazy. But
I would take a bite, and then like when it started, it was like I would take a bite, and then like she would take a bite, and I would, and I'm like, do you have to take the fucking last bite? She's like, I don't know, it's just like a weird thing. And I'm like, you don't make any sense. And she's like, I don't know, I see you take a bite, and it like makes me want to take another bite of my food. And I'm like, but you don't have to end winning every time. Like you won because you took an extra fucking bite of food.
Just seeing someone eat makes you want to eat, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But it was, and she admitted it was a thing.
I cannot believe that's how crazy that's great. I love that. That's a microcosm of Guy. All right. Iain, Indica or Sativa?
I only smoke Indicas.
All of it.
Guy, that question was directed at Iain, but it probably should be directed at Guy.
Wait. Why is that?
I think people think of me as like the weed smoker, you know?
Is he?
Who?
Is Iain the weed smoker?
I think we're all the weed smokers.
I'm not, but I just know some shit. That's all. Okay.
I'll
Actually, wait a second. Brett knows.
I was gonna say, I feel like Brett and Ivana smoke a lot of weed.
No,
too.
I've
Guys,
smoked
the
with 2 out of 3 people on this podcast.
What did you say, Brett?
With Brett and Ivana, like in the middle of the day. Yeah.
Wait a second. I think me and Brett smoked in the. I was like, I think me and Brett and Ivana smoked in the parking lot in Vegas.
Yeah, we smoke downtown Toronto, just like walking downtown.
You're the only one that has it, Fouad. You're out of the loop.
I can't do it, man. It fucks me right up. I get like stupid quiet.
Can I tell a Bumstead story real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is the same time I was with
Good. It's not good for you.
and like this, I think this was the day after the competition or whatever.
It was Sunday.
The NBA finals were going on. So it was Toronto Raptors and it was Golden State that year. And the game was actually in Toronto when we were all there.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just me, Bumstead, and Chris and Ivana. We smoked a joint up in his Airbnb. So me and him decided to go somewhere. I don't remember where, but we went outside and we're walking. And that's when the whole, the expo was still going on. There's people everywhere. And we're walking, me and Chris. And all of a sudden there's a group of like fitness people up ahead of us. Like, 18, 19-year-old, kids wearing Gymshark and shit. And I'm walking and all of a sudden he just grabs my arm and he takes an immediate right down this alley. Like just drags me, running.
Hey, who?
Chris.
And I'm like, Chris, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are you tripping? But like, he's like I can't deal with these people right now. I can't do it. Too hot. I'm too hot. I can't do it right now.
He knows we're all going to want to take photos and shit.
We had to run away from a bunch of groupies because they were going to scare us away.
Fuck, man.
I can probably, you know what it is? I never really talked about smoking because I'm I'm still like a weird young kid. Like if my dad comes over, like they know that I smoke, but I hide all my stuff when my parents come over. Like my dad's coming over, the bong gets fucking put away. Do you ever see one of these little Puffco things? I fucking put everything away.
I think it's just
if my dad saw it, he would flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's just my dad.
But it's just a respect thing. Like my brother smokes cigarettes, but my dad's around, or when my dad was around, he wouldn't smoke cigarettes.
But I don't smoke to get high. I smoke because I don't have a fucking my appetite's awful. And I sleep horribly. Those are the 2 main reasons why I do it. Like 99% of the time, I'm probably like when I talk to people or I'm places, I'm probably smoked. Like I probably smoked. But nobody can ever tell.
Yeah.
Well, that's how fucking Paul was, man. For the first like 3 years of our friendship.
Paul smokes and he turns like fucking red.
No. Listen to me.
Or he's just always red.
Listen to me. For the first 3 years of our friendship, I had no idea he smoked weed.
Yeah, some people do it and they're like this.
No. He's just normal.
That's how I am.
And I'm like, it was later on. He's like, yeah, I smoke weed. I'm like, how often? He's like, every day. I'm like, what do you mean every day? He's like when I wake up, I smoke.
I smoke before the gym.
I'm like, you mean you've been high this whole fucking time? I didn't know. He's like, yeah. So I'm like, it's just some people just can function. That's how they function.
And I don't know, like, are you like, I'm a pretty high strung kid. I think Ann's like high strung too. It kind of like brings me to like kind of like everybody else's like level.
Yeah.
And I do it before the gym because I feel if I didn't do it before the gym, I would be way fucking off the rocker than I already am in the gym.
See, that's why I always want to do it because Paul's always like, you're fucking angry all the time. You should smoke weed. And I'm like, okay. So every time I try, then I go so far the other way. I'm like, it doesn't feel good.
That means you're doing that. That means you're smoking too much.
Yeah, smoke less.
You can take 1 or 2 hits of a joint and be done. You don't have to smoke the whole fucking joint.
No. The last time I was with Paul, I took 2 hits off his fucking joint. Man, I was fucked for like the whole night. I was fucked up. Like this was like at 6 p.m.
Then find something less THC, just something like really mild and weak, and just fucking take a hit or 2 and you'll be good.
Well, it's probably Paul's fault because I remember when he asked the guy for it because we were at like this weed shop and he's like, I want the strongest THC you got.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I smoke like
there you go, dude.
I smoke like the highest THC indica I can find,
Yeah. All right, last question, then we'll go. Last question is, in their prime, who had the best legs on the podcast? Excluding cabs.
Well, good, because that would have put me out of it.
I'm just says that, excluding cabs.
In their prime, who has the best legs on the podcast?
I guess you got to pull up pictures, right?
I'm gonna say James. James got massive quads, man.
Yeah, but he doesn't have as much separation as detail as some of the other guys. Like I think Nick's got more detail and separation, especially the hamstrings.
Yeah, Nick's hamstrings are fucking ridiculous.
You know where I noticed how crazy Nick's quads were? I don't know if it was you or him. somebody posted a quarter turn to the right, and his fucking quad from the side. I've never said holy shit looking at somebody's legs from the side. I literally went holy shit.
Really?
I don't know if you know what picture I'm talking about.
I think Akeem's legs from the side and James's legs from the side are more impressive quad wise.
I disagree.
Really?
Maybe Akeem's, but no, I don't think so. Nick's were really impressive, man.
Those shots were nasty, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find the shot I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. James's leg like fucking it sweeps hard, like in that side shot. Look, watch. Am I crazy? Here. So this is from the front. I mean, there's a good amount of detail there, and those are fucking thick.
Yeah, I think my legs are better than that.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, some shots for sure.
I have pretty decent legs, but
no, you have great legs. I don't say you don't. I mean, it's not that like.
That's a good shot, though.
I'm trying to find these pictures.
I want to see like a side chest. Like, look at the fucking.
Yeah, that one.
Like, that's crazy.
It's good, yeah.
Let's see, just so I can see how.
But I mean, Nick has that, but then Nick has the best hamstrings in the league right now.
Nick's hamstrings are definitely.
That's the side chest. Go up where he's no. Yeah, there, down, right side.
To the right. Yeah.
Right
that.
Look at the legs, man.
Yeah. No, I listen. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, I can. I'm totally not disagreeing.
But like Guy said, he does the quarter turns and locks it out with the turns. That's when you really see, because it's just all compact there. That's when you see most.
I'm trying to look for the photo that I'm talking about because it's actually. I know. I want to show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who posted it though. It was a picture of. I think it was him, Ian, and Steve. It was a 3-person lineup, and they were doing all quarter turn.
Yeah, this is pretty sick right here, man. Yeah, I guess we'll have to go with Nick, right? Brett?
At this moment, yeah. Overall legs, I think, definitely. But I got Ian in a close second, man. Ian's in second.
I think my legs held up back in the day.
What are pictures?
Fouad's so old, we gotta fucking Google his.
Well, we don't have to. We can go back to my. He said prime, asshole. He didn't say now.
Well, there's me and Nick right there, staying next to each other.
There's a fucking side leg right there, motherfucker. This is a good hamstring drop right there.
There was a shot of me and Nick right there, and legs next to each other.
Right here?
No, on my Instagram.
Oh, you want me to go back to yours?
Yeah, just go click my profile there. Go down. Right there. Me and Nick. Side tricep. See,
yeah, that's not that far.
He's definitely got a little more detail on the side of the quad.
Yeah.
My glutes are a little better. My hamstring drops a little more. His quads are a little bigger and rounder.
I wouldn't say your glutes are better.
Here, I found it. Good. Can you go to Milos's page when you get a chance? I'll tell you exactly which photo it is. It's the second one down in the middle. And it's his next picture. Look at his fucking quad, bro, on that shot.
That's fucked, man.
That is fucking insane, bro.
That's
it. I saw that, and I was like, and he's standing next to fucking Steve, who's got great legs. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
His quad is crazy.
Yeah.
Look how crazy that looks.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not wild, Fouad. Look at how fucking round his quad is.
Well, it's funny because you see the glaring difference to like between Steve sitting right in front of him, where his quad is almost, it's like straight up and down almost.
Yep.
It's like a damn backpack on the front of his leg.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, that's one of the craziest shots I've ever seen.
And then on the sides there, too. Look at that.
He just looked like he was stuck. Like his back wasn't like he was almost like pinched.
Yeah, this is retarded right here.
It's in. Look at that, bro. It's insane.
Like, see how like this kind of curves a little bit? This is like this is like a fucking oval. Like there's a slight curve here, and this is just like, just kind of pops right off.
And ready for this? This motherfucker don't even squat. That's the craziest part about all this.
I think Nick's quads from the front though are not.
They're not as
great.
detailed and separated.
But I think it's just because the sweep starts a little bit lower off the hip. Like you see the sweep starts here.
Guy, he definitely squats. He doesn't do quad extensions. He
doesn't barbell squat. He doesn't do it.
Yeah, he does. He does safety squat bar. He did like 25 reps, 405. Like a couple.
He was doing safety squat stuff this year.
He went back to it because I thought he said he stopped squatting altogether.
He did when we used to talk before. He said he didn't squat, and then I think they started safety squatting recently. Like the side of the leg and that side chest is nuts.
If there's other 212 guys on here, I would say my legs, but there's no open guts.
Okay, Ian, are you going to be on before the Olympia, or are you good for a while?
I could go on next week or later, whatever. I'm cool.
Well, we'll play it by ear because I know the last week you usually get like drained. So
yeah.
So are we all going to Olympia minus fucking the host here?
I'm stuck. Canadian rules. I'm not getting I don't have my vaccine shot, so I'm shunned from society.
It's insane, isn't it?
So let's not go down that road. I'll get demonetized. I'll get demonetized for even bringing it up.
Really?
You can't. It's like YouTube literally put out a statement this morning. I saw it on one of the news things that they are taking any videos off YouTube that have anything negative to say or anything that says the vaccine is bad for you.
Oh, so freedom of speech is no longer a thing. Cool.
Yeah, you can put like ISIS can put beheadings on YouTube, and that's okay. But we can't put what
fucking planet do we live on? Can you tell me?
You can indoctrinate like millions of young kids and try and make them into terrorists, but you can't say like you have a different opinion about the vaccine.
Call them and tell them.
Wild.
I'm gonna have to fucking edit this out now too, or else we're gonna get taken off of YouTube. So it doesn't matter.
COVID's a fucking joke.
All right, gentlemen, we'll talk next week.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, boys.
Yeah. Good luck, Ian. Finish up.
Hey, guys.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.